welcome to tonight's game with visiting Eagle River Chinooks versus the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Mulcahy Stadium is a non-smoking facility. Please be respectful of our fans and seated areas. Designated smoking areas are along the fence on the far west side of the first base side and along the fence beyond the restrooms on the third base side, away from any seating areas. Please note that cannabis is illegal within the ballpark. Please do not leave any valuables in your car when parked in any of the ballpark parking lots, and be sure to lock your vehicles.
Good evening and welcome to Anchorage, Alaska. Another beautiful night for ABL baseball. Dr. John Groth with you on the pregame show. These two clubs will meet once again. Just played on Monday night. The Chinooks had last night out. The Pilots had a ball game last night. They beat the Bucks in a close one, 3-2, right here at Mulcahy. And the Chinooks off night. And now we're back at it, right back down here against the Pilots here at Mulcahy Stadium. We'll go through the starting lineups in just a moment. The umpires will be making their way to home plate on these. I think on these games with the Pilots now, they actually like to start at 6:10. So we'll walk you through the starting lineups. I did get a chance to talk to three Chinooks, so we'll have in-game interviews with three of the Chinook players today. And I caught up with Jordan Jaffe, R.J. Rickaball, and Tim Reynolds. So a couple of catchers and an infielder today on the in-game interviews with Meet the Chinooks on the air. So be on the lookout for those during the ball game. We'll play those at various times during the game. I'm going to try to make my way through the whole roster before my wife and I head to Xenia, Ohio, and spend the second half of the summer with the Xenia Scouts, the other athletes in action baseball team in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. So we got to step it up here. We've gotten through 6 Chinooks, and we'll get through 3 more tonight, and we'll just keep pecking our way through here. So if your Chinook hasn't been interviewed yet, hang in there. We're going to do our very best to get them all in before we head out. So glad you're with us tonight. We got a beautiful night for baseball. Boy, thank you, Lord, for some great weather. First couple weeks that we were up here, kind of wet and soggy and cool, but man, and the forecast is for high pressure to continue to dominate our weather pattern, which means, 60s. We got actually a couple of 70s for highs in the next week, and not a lot of rain. So that's great for baseball. And, boy, you've had so much rain. Everything's so green here, and the summer happens fast. Solstice is tomorrow night. So longest day of the summer here in Alaska. And, of course, we got long ones up here. We're over 19 hours of daylight. So, and really, if you watch the sun go down, it just kind of dips below the horizon for a couple hours, and then it slides right back up. So very unique place to enjoy a summer. And the people in Alaska love their long summer days because they have very short winter days if they get the sun at all. So they take full advantage of these long days in the summertime. And, of course, baseball is obviously a big beneficiary of that. We'll actually play down here against the same Pilot Club on Saturday, and they're dubbing that the Anchorage version of the Midnight Sun game. So we're going to start that game at 9 p.m. local time. So, boy, some of you East Coasters are going to have to maybe check out the on-demand version of this on YouTube, because that's going to be in the wee hours of Sunday morning before we start this game here if you're going to watch it live. But 9 p.m. start on Saturday, the Anchorage version of the Midnight Sun game. Of course, the true Midnight Sun game is played in the interior in Fairbanks. And, of course, the Gold Panthers were down here this past weekend for the Scout Showcase exhibition weekend, and they're back up there. And Dave Winfield's going to make an appearance up there this weekend at the Midnight Sun ball game. It's always a big, highly attended, probably their most attended game of the summer. And so our best wishes to them. And let's go ahead and walk you through the starting lineups. For the Chinooks, they are 4-6 on the year. This is game 11 of the summer, 3-4 in ABL play. They're led by second-year head coach Tim Cole. Kyle Peets is the pitching coach. Ted McGovern, the associate head coach. Leading off is the shortstop, Oliver Dagenhart. Batting second is the second baseman, Louis Zulaika. Batting third is the first baseman, Jordan Jaffe. Batting cleanup, center fielder, Jaden Hill. Batting fifth, catcher, R.J. Rickaball. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, Kate Smith. Batting seventh, third baseman, David Broughton. Batting eighth is the left fielder, Keaton Laidley. Batting ninth for the Chinooks, right fielder, Orion Medeiros. First start in right of the summer for Medeiros. On the mound for the Chinooks, Frankie Gulko. Go through the defensive alignment for the Pilots in just a moment. Let's take a moment and honor our country with the national anthem. All right, we're just a few minutes from first pitch. Dr. John Groth with you on the call. Beautiful night here in Anchorage, 64 degrees, 56% humidity, west-southwesterly, 4 to 8 miles an hour. That's going to blow out to left field across this diamond from right field to left field. So right-handers, as always, when it's nice weather here at Mulcahy, are going to get a little bit of a push on those fly balls, basically from the left center gap over to the foul pole. Ball will get a little bit of a push there. Balls hit to right field are going to get knocked down just a bit tonight. But just a perfect night for college baseball as the umpires and the coaches will meet and exchange lineups. And, boy, we play the Pilots an awful lot down here in the early going. And this is, let's see here, I think I figured it was meeting number 5 of the season already for these two clubs. First meeting was on Saturday the 8th. The Pilots got that victory 6-4. And then we played a doubleheader on the Monday. We were supposed to open up with the Pilots at Lee Jordan Field, but that game got rained out. So a double dip on that Monday the 10th. And it was a doubleheader sweep for the Chinooks. So basically an extra inning affair in which the sudden death rules were employed, and even though the official score of the game was 0-0 on the website, it's a 1-0 victory just to give the win to somebody in the standings in 8 innings and sudden death format. By the way, there was a sudden death game at Kenai last night between the Miners and the Oilers. The Oilers were on top on that, so still working through trying to get that into the standings correctly because the statistician in Kenai was not quite sure how to do it. And so Presto will have to get involved there to actually get that game counted as a win for the Oilers. But doubleheader sweep on Monday the 10th between these two clubs was games 2 and 3. Of course, just the other night on Monday, the Chinooks came down here and won by a score of 9-3. And so 3-1 in 4 games. The Chinooks have the advantage tonight. Wednesday the 19th, it's the Chinooks and the Pilots for the 5th time this season. And really, by the end of June, we're almost done playing the Pilots. I think we have 1 game in late July against the Pilots, and that's it. So we play each team 10 times. And I think 9 of them are before the month of June ends. So defensively for the Pilots, let's give you their defensive alignment. Out in left field, Dylan Marks. In center, Luke Stolga. In right field, it's Jack Dorn. Around the infield, it's Chase Knight at third, Luke Hefner at short, Troy Sanders at second, Jack Dodge at first, Bo Rico behind the plate. And on the mound, 6'1", 195, a right-handed junior from Sacramento State University, Tyler Stewart. Stewart will get the ball to start the ball game tonight for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots.
Batting first for the Chinooks, number 9, Oliver Dagenhart.
Oliver Dagenhart will lead it off for the Chinooks. Wearing the red tops tonight, gray pants with the blue piping. Got the red ball caps with the blue backing on it. And here's the first pitch. In there for a strike. We're underway. 6:06. That's actually a little early. And it's 0-1 on Oliver Dagenhart. There's a little pop fly foul out of play on the right field corner. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Glad you're with us on a Wednesday evening, hump day here in Alaska. Ground ball, right side, foul. Do it again. And here's our first flyover of the night. I have about probably 20 or 30 of those before the night's over. We're in the landing and taking off pattern for Merrill Field, which is a couple miles away. Another foul ball right side. That's out of play. Oliver Dagenhart spoiling a couple of good pitches from right-handed junior Tyler Stewart. Cameron Park, California native. The 0-2. There's a tapper to third. This is in play. And this will be Chase Knight making the play for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down here in the first inning, just underway. And love to hear from you. Let me know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. And stepping in now is Louis Zulaika. First pitch is going to miss, ball 1. The other night, Louis 3 for 5. Dagenhart the other night had a couple hits as well. He was 2 for 4. So same 2 batters in the first 2 slots for Coach Cole. Ball pretty well hit the left. On his horse's marks, he's back toward the wall and runs it down on the warning track. Really nice play there by left fielder Dylan Marks for out number 2. That was not an easy play. He was playing kind of shallow. And as we said before, that wind is going to take those balls to left field a little bit more than they normally would go. And Marks ran it down right in the middle of the warning track. Now it's Jordan Jaffe. Fouled straight back on the first pitch, strike 1. Two outs, nobody aboard. And that's fouled off. Quickly, 0-2. Boy, nice job here by Tyler Stewart, just filling up the zone. Pounding the zone with strikes, these Chinook hitters. Not very long at bats. Another foul ball. This is reminiscent of Dagenhart's leadoff at bat. As Jaffe stays alive. Talked to Jordan today before the game. And we'll have his in-game interview coming up a little later. And a little looper in the left, and that'll fall in. There goes the no-hitter. A 2-out single for Jordan Jaffe.
Now batting, number 15, Jaden Hill.
Here's Jaden Hill, the center fielder, switch-hitting center fielder. Steps in with 2 outs, 1 aboard. Got the 3-man umpiring crew. Thankful for that. Got 3 sets of eyes on this ball game. Boy, we've had pretty good umpiring this summer. Haven't had too many, if any, major faux pas, if you will, or controversies. Always going to have a few disagreements on certain calls, but tip of the hat to the umpiring crew this summer. These guys, they work really hard, and they don't have as many days off as the players, that's for sure. So each night there's one team that has an off night. Bucks are off tonight, swing and a miss. 1-2 to Jaden Hill. We just alternate between playing the Bucks and the Pilots down here for a couple of weeks. Really, we got the Bucks tomorrow. We'll come right back down here, play the Bucks, and the Pilots will be off tomorrow. And then we have an off night as the Bucks and Pilots will play each other on Friday. We'll have Friday off, and then Saturday we come down and play the Pilots again. And then we come back. We off Sunday, come back down here Monday to play the Pilots. So we have about a 2-week period where we make nearly every trip to Mulcahy that will make the rest of the summer. Runner moving on the 3-2 pitch, fouled off. We'll do it again. All right, Mr. Golko watching from Santan Valley, Arizona. Appreciate you checking in. Frankie's dad, I think, or granddad. Three-two count. The set, the pitch, there goes the runner again, another foul ball. Boy, the Chinooks have done a nice job of kind of forcing Tyler Stewart to throw some extra pitches this inning. Could have been a really short inning, but they've been scrappy and have fouled off a number of pretty good pitches by the right-handed junior. Sacramento State University is where Tyler Stewart plays his college baseball. Pilots got their Dodger whites on tonight. I kind of like them. The next payoff struck him out. Got him to chase one. A tough pitch just over the hands. First strikeout of the night for the right-hander Stewart. Chinooks get no runs on one hit. You leave one guy on. And after 1/2 inning, it's the Chinooks 0, and the Glacier Pilots come to the plate. Let's go ahead and walk you through the lineup for the home team. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots, 3-6-1 overall, and I'm not sure exactly what the record is. Their home games, still working on getting some of those stats in there. So they're listed on the website right now at 3-6 in ABL play, but that may be accurate. Not sure, but those, of course, those showcase games do not count toward ABL play. Here's the lineup that Rich Price in his first year as head coach has put down for the Pilots. Leading off is the second baseman, Troy Sanders. Batting second, shortstop, Luke Hefner. Batting third, left fielder, Dylan Marks. Batting cleanup, center fielder, Luke Stolga. Batting fifth, DH, Brendan Shanahan. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Chase Knight. Batting seventh, first baseman, Jack Dodge. Batting eighth is the right fielder, Jack Dorn. And batting ninth for the Pilots, catcher, Bo Rico. Defensively for the Chinooks, Keaton Laidley in left, Jaden Hill in center. Orion Medeiros gets the first start of the summer in right field. Here's the first pitch. Just off the plate, ball one. Around the infield, David Broughton at third, Oliver Dagenhart at short, Louis Zuleika at second base, Jordan Jaffe at first, R.J. Rickaball behind the plate, and on the mound, 6'1", 190, a right-handed senior from Salem University, Frankie Golko. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Well, we've heard from Frankie's family already, so young man from Santan Valley, Arizona. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kind of a unique wind-up. Likes to start with that left foot out in front of the rubber. Kind of takes a short little rocker step and then back into his wind-up as Sanders will chop one foul, third base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of inning number 1 in a scoreless tie. Chinooks brought 4 batters to the plate. Two-out single by Jaffe was stranded. Swing and a miss, got him. Good off-speed there. And Sanders is the first strikeout victim of the night for Frankie Golko. Well, heard from Travis Brantingham, St. Louis, Missouri, rooting for those Chinooks. Thanks for checking in. Bo actually shared his Triple H today in discipleship, so really good to hear some of his life journey as he gives 3 weeks of his summer. He'll be leaving early because of his commitment to the Air Force Academy, so certainly appreciate his time with us. Here's Luke Hefner, left-handed hitting shortstop from Dallas Baptist. Fouled that one off the leg, and he goes down in a crumple. And he'll get to his feet, try to gather himself a little bit. Luke's brother, David, threw the other night, was the starting pitcher. Actually, I started 2 games against the Chinooks. And the Hefner's father is the head coach at Dallas Baptist, Dan Hefner. An amazing job of really getting that program to a national level. And they got an amazing facility there in Dallas. And Danny does such a great job with his club. One of the great teachers of hitting in the game today at the college level, and also great man of God. There's a base hit to the other way. Boy, nice piece of hitting by Luke there, and there goes the no-hitter. Ball was appeared to be a fastball away, and the other night Luke Hefner was pulling the ball with authority. That time he took a pretty good pitch and knocked it through the 6-hole. So runner at first, no one out for Dylan Marks, left fielder. So still scoreless here, bottom of the first inning. Frankie Golko will now work from the true stretch position. Pretty well hit the left field, but plenty of room out there for Keaton Laidley. He'll catch that just in front of the warning track for out number 2. Well, Mark kind of barreled that one up, but Laidley playing deep enough that it wasn't too hard of a play. Couple of steps toward the track and made the grab. Now it's the cleanup hitter, Luke Stolga, center fielder. Stolga 1 for 3 in the Monday night ball game. That was a 9-3 Chinook win. In 4 games, Chinooks 3-1 against the Pilots. Coming into tonight, the Chinooks in 4th, and the Glacier Pilots in 5th in the ABL. Still early on for everybody. Every hitter's still getting adjusted to these wood bats. And some of the clubs are still actually getting a few arms that come in. Some of these players haven't heard from too many of the general managers about some players from any of the World Series teams that are coming up. As that World Series continues to progress, as teams get eliminated, some of those players that are going to go play summer ball are released. Usually they want to take a day or two to just take a breath, and then they head up to their wherever they're playing, whether it's here or the Cape or Great Lakes League, Northwoods, wherever. Ground ball to third, well hit, and Broughton catches, throws across, and there's your inning. Nice play by David Broughton, 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. No runs on 1 hit, you leave 1 guy on, and we are through 1 inning of baseball here at Mulcahy. Beautiful night. Another beautiful night, thank you, Lord. 64 degrees and just barely any humidity at all, a slight breeze. What a great night to play some ABL baseball. It's still scoreless. We'll go to the 2nd inning. Well, thank you, Greg Ryan, for that update on the Aggie game. 5-0 after 7 for the Texas A&M Aggies, trying to win their way into the championship round against the Tennessee Volunteers. So, kind of hoping that matchup happens. And I had spent 3 years as an assistant at A&M years ago, so certainly have an affinity for that club. Got my doctorate from Texas A&M, so hoping those Aggies can maybe get their first national championship in baseball under Jim Schlossnagel. No Jim from way back in his Tulane days. And first pitch to R.J. Rickabaugh is fouled off, strike one. Tell you what, Tyler Stewart has just pumped strikes in there in the early going. And these Chinooks are obliging by taking some aggressive swings. Another line drive into left, and that's just going to curve foul. So thought it might fall down, but kept curving foul. So RJ will go back to the plate. Did get we'll play the in-game interview with RJ Rickabaugh later tonight. So got to talk to him and Tim Reynolds and Jordan Jaffe. There's a ground ball up the middle. Tough play here. Hefner catches, throws on the run. Got him. Boy, really nice play there by Luke Hefner. I thought that was getting up the middle, and Hefner ranges beyond second base and catches and throws in one motion. Strong throw over to Jack Dodge, and there's one away. Here's Cade Smith, the designated hitter for the Chinooks. First pitch to Cade is in there for a strike. Boy, just a lot of strikes so far. Cade Smith, 6 foot 200, a freshman from the University of Arkansas, Searcy, Arkansas native. And quickly 0-2. I would like to know how many pitches he's thrown and how many balls he's thrown. Not many balls at all. He has thrown strike after strike here. There's one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cade Smith batting 6th for the Chinooks tonight. 5, 6, 7 here in the second inning. And boy, went up and got a pitch and hit it into right field for a single. Nice piece of hitting there by the Chinook designated hitter. Second hit in 2 innings for the Nooks. And now it's David Broughton, the third baseman. Broughton, 6'2", 200, freshman out of Quincy University, a native of Fenton, Missouri. So Stewart from the stretch now. That ball's drilled into the gap. And everybody just stays where they are for 90 feet. So Smith stays at second. Off the bat, thought it might get through. But Broughton aboard with a solid single. And now it'll be Keaton Laidley for the first time. He's the 8th batter in the Chinook lineup. So first and second, 1 out for Laidley, who steps in from the left side. And Stewart now, again from the stretch. Just missed ball 1. Still scoreless, top of the second inning. Here's the 1-0. And another healthy, aggressive swing by a Chinook batter fouled off. I've got a couple of ball teams practicing on some of those fields beyond the outfield wall. Nobody on the soccer field tonight. Here's the 1-1. It's a soccer football field just beyond the left field wall that you can kind of see part of. And if you Google Mulcahy Stadium and plane crash, that's where plane crashed, I don't know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, somewhere in there. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Keaton Laidley, a chance to give the Chinooks a lead here with a runner at first and second and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fights off an inside fastball, and we'll do it again. Well, it's kind of a merry-go-round, if you will, between the Chinooks, the Pilots, and the Bucks down here at Mulcahy for the next 4 or 5 days. 2 of us will play, and the other third team will be off. Swing and a miss. Laidley is strikeout victim number 2
Number 5,
for Tyler Stewart.
Orion Madero.
And that's the second out here in the second inning. Here's the 9-hitter, Orion Maderos. And the Chinooks 2 on, 2 out. Tyler Stewart trying to wiggle out of some Chinook traffic here in the second inning. Boy, he got fisted, and who's going to catch it? Fiefner can't get there. He's got to hurry, not in time. Boy, a strange infield single right there. Maderos got jammed big time. Little bloop. Fiefner was playing pretty deep at short. Came in and could not make the catch. I thought he was going to catch it on the fly, and it hit well in front of him, and by the time he could get it in his glove and throw it across, it's an infield single. So bases loaded. Back to the top you go, Oliver Dagenhart. First pitch to Dagenhart in there for a strike. So the Chinooks with a big opportunity here with 2 outs in a scoreless game. Top of the second. First pitch was a strike. It's 0-1. Here's the pitch. And same pitch, same results. Looked like a kind of a cut fastball slider type of pitch. And now Oliver in an 0-2 hole. Going to have to battle here. First time up, Dagenhart grounded out to third base. The kick, the 0-2, fouled straight back. And we'll do it again, 0-2. Game number 11 tonight for the Chinooks. 4-6 overall and 3-4 in ABL play. The 0-2. Another fastball and another foul ball. We've got the TV news tonight, so if you're in the Anchorage area, I want to check out the Sportscast. They'll have some highlights from tonight's game. Always good to see them out here. No runs on 4 hits for the Chinooks. No runs on 1 hit for the Pilot. The 0-2, and swing and a miss, and you got to step on the base, and you do, so that's it. Another strikeout. That's 2 in the inning and 3 in the ball game for Tyler Stewart. The Chinooks load him up. Can't get anything out of it. We're going to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Stay with us. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Anchorage, Alaska. Dr. John Groth with you on the call. Still scoreless, bottom of the second inning. For the Glacier Pilots, it's 5, 6, and 7. This is Brendan Shanahan to lead it off for Anchorage. Shanahan listed at 6'1", 200, a freshman from Fresno State University, Temecula, California. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Frankie Gulko back on the mound for the Chinooks, a senior out of Salem University. Santan Valley, Arizona native. There's the bunt right out in front of the plate. Frankie fields and throws and gets him. So you try to drag your bunt your way aboard, and boy, the rule there is perfect or foul. Stay away from that middle piece of pie that goes back to the pitcher, and unfortunately for Shanahan, that's exactly where that ball went. Here's the third baseman, Chase Knight, for the first time. Chase Knight, 6'3", 185. First pitch swinging, fouls it off first base side. Knight's a freshman out of Fresno State University, Pleasanton, California native. Coco that wind up the 0-1 off the plate. One ball, one strike. And we got flyovers going left and right here tonight. Little looper into center, and that's going to fall in front of Braden Hill for the second hit of the night. Well, you didn't really barrel it up, but you got enough of it to get it out of the infield and in front of Braden Hill. There's a lot of room here, as there is at Lee Jordan in the outfield. Boy, those gaps are huge. They don't mark the distance here. I have to get on the Google Earth map and get some dimensions for you at some point, because we're down here a bunch here in the next week. So that'll bring up Jack Dodge, the first baseman. Takes ball one. I know I've been to a few ballparks that aren't marked, and all you got to do is get on Google Earth and do a little math, because the bases are 90 feet. Not too hard. There goes the runner. RJ throws it down and got him. Boy, gun by RJ Rickaball. And the throw actually carried Dagenhart to the first base side of second base, but the throw was there so early, Oliver easily put the tag on Knight for the second out of the inning. So it'll go 2-6 if you're scoring at the house. Now you got 2 outs, and Dodge with a 2-0 count. That ball's hammered high, deep right field. If it stays fair, it's out of here, but it's going to go foul. And it was out of here, but it was, no, it didn't. Did it get out of here? Nope. I think it did get out of here, but it was foul. So that ball got up in a hurry, and thankfully for the Chinooks, it curved foul. Here's the 2-1. Hard hit ball, and nice play over there by Jaffe. He flips it over to Frankie, covering first. And nifty defense there. 3-1 if you're scoring at the house. Unorthodox, but a 1-2-3 inning for the Chinook defense. No runs on 1 hit and nobody left on. We're going to inning number 3. Still scoreless here at Mulcahy. Great game, great night. Hope you're having a good night wherever you are. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for on that live chat. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, that was Louis Zalaika that just batted, and I'm pretty sure they're going to give him a hit on that. It was in the 6th hole, and ball went off of Hefner's glove, but don't think he would have had a shot at it. So Louis Zalaika with an infield single to lead off here in the 3rd inning. First pitch called a strike to Jordan Jaffe, and we're going to have that interview with Jordan Jaffe after this half inning. So we'll go ahead and play that for you. Had a good chat with Jordan. As Zuleika dives back to first base. Still scoreless, top of the third inning here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Dr. John Groth with you on the call. Beautiful night here in Anchorage. The 0-1. And breaking ball misses low. Tyler Stewart thought the batter went. Mr. Umpire says no go. So it's a 1-1 count. Nobody out as Zuleika at first base. Ground ball foul. Third base side. And it's 1-2. Asked Jordan a little bit about the adjustment to the wooden bat. And you'll hear his answer here in a little while. But really, he's played a couple of summer leagues that use wood bats, so not as big of an adjustment for him. For some of these other guys that have never played wood bat leagues, bigger adjustment. Will hit into left field. That's going to be a base hit into the gap. And Stolga slides and makes the play, but it's a double. That ball was hit pretty well. It's a double to center for Jaffe. And then Nooks got something going here. Second and third, nobody out in the third inning. Still scoreless. Here's the center fielder, Jaden Hill. Big opportunity now with two in scoring position with nobody out. Need a productive at bat here from Jordan Hill. He'll take the ground ball. They're going to concede the run up the middle. The corners are going to play in even with the bag. First pitch fouled off left side. That's going to be out of play. It's 0-1. Tyler Stewart has just pounded the zone all night. He has not thrown many balls at all, and the Chinooks are staying aggressive, knowing that they're going to get something pretty close to the plate. The next pitch misses. It's 1-1. Stewart the set. Stewart the pitch. Off the plate. 2-1. We're in the third inning. The Nooks with 6 base hits. Pilots with 2. We're still scoreless. Popped out of play, left side. And it's now 2-2. Outfield playing shallow in left and center. Normal depth in right. Infield back in the middle. And maybe a step behind the bag now in the corners. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Boy, big strikeout right there for Stewart. And that'll be strikeout number 4 for him tonight. And that's a big one. So now it's R.J. Rickabaw's turn. See if he can get these runs in. First time up for Rickabaw. Grounded out to short. Jaden Hill now has struck out twice in his 2 plate appearances. Jaffe 2 for 2 tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Now you bring the infield in to try to cut this run down, and what that does is open up all kinds of holes for R.J. Rickabaw. We're going to hear from R.J. later in the game. We interviewed him today as well. Line drive, but foul into the left field corner, and it's 0-2. So Tyler Stewart continues to stay ahead of these Chinook hitters. And that ball came back into the live ball, fair ball area, so the umpires called time to make sure it gets out of there. And Dylan Marks has to take a moment to come back to where he wants to play. Umpire gets a few more baseballs. Marks is playing kind of shallow out there in left, as is the center fielder, Luke Stolga. Dorn, normal depth in right field. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Outside corner. Went to the fastball, and RJ could not pull the trigger. Strikeout number 5 after giving up a single and a double. Tyler Stewart has struck out 2 Chinooks. Jaden Hill swinging and Rickabaw looking. Now it's Cade Smith with 2 on and 2 outs. Stewart, first pitch off the plate, 1-0. No runs on 6 hits for Chugiak Eagle River. Anchorage, no runs on 2 hits. We're scoreless, top of the 3rd. The pitch. Inside, 2-0. Well, the Chinooks will be right back down here at Mulcahy tomorrow night against the Bucks. 6 o'clock start. Try to get a coach on the interview. Maybe get Colonel Ted on the interview tomorrow if we can. First base coach and associate head coach for the Chinooks. I've heard from Coach Cole a couple of times, and we've heard from Kyle Peets, the pitching coach, and haven't heard from Colonel Ted yet, so see if we can maybe get him on the pregame interview tomorrow. Try to go on the air about 6:45, 6:50 or so. Again, Saturday night's game against the Pilots here is a 9 o'clock local time start. Pitch is called a strike. 2-2. Boy, Tyler Stewart is about to wiggle off the hook here. 2 on, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and what a recovery as Tyler Stewart, after giving up a single and a double, strikes out 3 Chinooks in a row. That's 6 strikeouts here in the first 3 innings for the right-handed junior from Sacramento State. No runs on 2 hits. You leave 2 guys on, and both of them in scoring position. The Chinooks have left 6 on base and 4 in scoring position so far in the first 3 innings. So they've had some opportunities, have not come up with a big hit yet. We are still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Let's take a moment now and hear our pregame interview with Jordan Jaffe.
All right, we're here outside the Chinook dugout, and our Chinook that we got 3 Chinooks of the day. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we'll go from there.
Hey guys, doing? I'm Jordan Jaffe. I go to the University of Richmond. I am from Thousand Oaks, California. I'm an infielder at Richmond, and yeah.
So talk about how'd you end up going to Richmond? I know we've talked about that a little bit, but tell our audience a little bit about how you, a Cali guy, ended up at Richmond.
Yeah, so I always wanted to head east to the East Coast for school. My dad's an East Coast guy, born and raised, and yeah, I always wanted to go to a pretty high academic school too, to pair that with baseball, get a good education. So a lot of those schools ended up being on the East Coast, and Richmond came out to California actually, and they saw me out here. I took a visit out there, and I absolutely loved it. So then I decided to commit, and I knew it was home.
So how did you end up playing in Alaska for the Chinooks? How'd that happen?
So my hitting coach at Richmond, Colin Raddick, he was actually a Chinook a couple years back, but
so he's still a Spider.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of teammates at Richmond that have went up here, and they've been Chinooks before, and they everyone has vouched for the experience, and everyone has absolutely loved it. And ever since I got on campus, they told me to come up here. So I knew this summer for sure I was going to come, and yeah, no doubt I was for sure going to come up here. And
well, I had the pleasure of coaching Colin, one of my favorite Chinooks of all time, and so I'm glad that you get a chance to be coached by him as well. You talked about the experience. What's it been like being a Chinook for a couple of weeks, being in Alaska and playing in the ABL?
Yeah, it's been so awesome. Alaska's a beautiful state. First time I've been up here, obviously, and it's been amazing. Summers up here are awesome. I mean, the weather's great. And
so far.
Yeah, and to pair with that, I mean, being on this team is amazing. It's a good league, good baseball, but more importantly, a good team to develop who I am, centered around God and getting to know Christ. I mean, it's been everything I was looking for.
Awesome. Well, what any special, uniquely Alaska experiences so far? I know we haven't been here too long, but anything that stands out so far?
Well, there's a lot of wildlife.
Yeah.
We've seen some moose,
Nice.
you know, through in the forest and on the streets and all that. We hiked up a couple mountains, and that's been so fun to just see the views. Trying to adjust to the sunlight and how it's always bright out. So I've had to get some sleeping masks, so I'm able to get some good sleep. So yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment, but I mean, it's so much fun.
Well, Jordan, you're a corner guy. You've been doing both and third and first. Do you have a preference or wish you like to play better?
Wherever I can play, as long as I'm in the lineup, I just love to play ball. I think that next year I'll be playing a little bit of third base at Richmond, so that's kind of where I see myself in the future. But if I ever need to go play first, I'm always equipped for that, ready to go. And I like to become versatile. If I can try to play more positions too. I don't know. We'll see if that's in the future.
So that's defense. Talk about the transition to the wood bat. How's that been?
It's definitely an adjustment. Took a couple games to kind of get my swing feeling right again. I've played a couple summers, so I've had some experience with the wood bat.
Very good.
So I'm used to it, and I'm kind of settled in right now. But yeah, it's definitely an adjustment after a full season with metal.
All right, last thing, any shout-outs to folks back home?
Yeah, mom, dad, brother, they're all amazing. They're all the reason why I'm here today. So,
Jordan, thanks for taking time, and I hope you have a great summer here as a Chinook.
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, big shout out to Jordan Jaffe for his time before the ball game. And boy, in the interim, what a great inning by Frankie Golko. Pop up to right, a little squibber on a jam job. That was Jack Dorn leading it off. He flew out to right. Bo Rico, the catcher, the 9-hitter, got jammed, hit a ball right back to Frankie, and that was out number 2. And then another pop-up to the right side in foul territory. Great play by Jordan Jaffe. Went way into foul territory and made a grab right along the fence over there for out number 3. So it's an easy 1-2-3 third inning for Frankie Golko. We're going to the 4th inning here, and it's still a scoreless tie. Chinooks with 6 hits, the Pilots with 2. So there's your interview with Jordan Jaffe. We got Tim Reynolds coming up and also R.J. Rickabaugh. So we'll have those a little later in the broadcast, but thanks for those guys taking some time during batting practice to visit with me. For the Chinooks, for the second time through, David Broughton, base hit to center his first time up. He's 1 for 1. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Very few at-bats that Tyler Stewart has fallen behind here. Been a strike machine. Pitches in there, 1-1. Last inning, Stewart gave up an infield single and a double, and then promptly struck out 3 Chinooks to get out of trouble. Well hit center field. Stolga goes back and got room, makes the grab. Well, pretty well hit. Just got under it a little bit, did Broughton. And there's 1 up and 1 down in the Chinook 4th inning. Here's the left fielder, Keaton Laidley. He struck out, swinging his first time up. So he's 0 for 1 tonight. Right-handed junior from Cameron Park, California, Tyler Stewart. Both these starting pitchers have done a masterful job of navigating the first 3 innings. We're in the top of the 4th, still scoreless. The 0-1 pitch just off the plate, not by much. 1-1. Pilots in their white jerseys kind of resemble the Dodger whites. I've always liked these uniforms. And their ball caps are kind of they got the throwback Atlanta Brave logo, the A on the front in red, and of course the royal blue ball cap. Swing and a miss, and Laidley strikes out for the second time tonight. That'll be 7 strikeouts now for Tyler Stewart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just in the top of the 4th inning. 9-hitter is Orion Medeiros. Infield single his first time up. So Medeiros 1 for 1, swing and a miss, strike 1. Medeiros has played some left. He's played some center, but tonight gets the nod as the starter in the right field corner. Fastball in there. It's quickly 0-2. And I like how Tyler Stewart he's just going about his business. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. 8 strikeouts for Stewart's. And we're through 3.5 innings. It's a very short and quick 4th inning for the Chinooks. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless. Got a good one going here. Stay with us. Have not come up with a big hit yet. All right, let's try to catch up with some of those live chat comments. Thanks for checking in, Miss Backstrom. I thought the Pilots had the video going tonight. I know that I'll continue to advise the Pilot fans to watch the video from our feed and turn my turn my volume down and listen to Casey Roll. Casey's an amazing announcer, does a great job. He's actually doing some SEC baseball in the springtime, and he's taking a break from the big time, the mothership, if you will. He lives and grew up in Anchorage, and he comes home and does ABL games in the summer, just as a little bit of a break for him. But during the 10 months that he's not here, he's doing ESPN volleyball. He does, I think, some hockey for the University of Nebraska in Omaha. And he did some big-time baseball this spring. So he has grown into a really good announcer, and really proud of what he's done in his career as a broadcaster. And so he's a couple booths over from me right now. And if you want to hear someone good, turn the volume down on us and listen to him. So anyways, Tina, thanks for checking in. And you're watching from Los Angeles, so thanks for that. And the Hayeses are checking in from Anacortes, Washington, rooting for the Chinooks. Brian and Shannon. No balls and 2 strikes to Luke Hefner. Little tapper up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. On the backhand, Zuleika, and, well, they're saying he's on the base. I thought he came off, but evidently had the bag and the ball at the same time. Good play there by Louis Zuleika for out number 1. Off the bat, it looked like it might be an infield hit. And stepping in for the Pilots is Dylan Marks. Both these pitchers doing a really nice job throwing strikes, letting their defense work a little bit. First pitch off the plate. Ball 1 to Dylan Marks. He flew out to left his first time up. Quinn Nauman has checked in, rooting for Oliver Dagenhart, watching from St. Louis. Thanks for checking in, Quinn. Hope it's a nice evening in St. Louis. Guess we're probably almost 10 o'clock there now, I think. I think they're in Central Time. Pretty well hit the center field, but Jaden Hill, plenty of room, easy catch, 2 outs. So 2 up, 2 down, as Frankie Golko just continues to mow down Pilots. As this one has a feel like the 0-0 extra inning game we played a couple weeks ago against the Pilots at home. We're at Lee Jordan Field. We are still a number of days away from getting back to the Lee Jordan. Another fly ball, shallow center, and Hill comes in, and there's your inning. Really nice job by Frankie Golko. Another 1-2-3 inning. He's only allowed 1 base runner through 4 innings. We're still scoreless. Back in just a minute. Back to the top of the Chinook lineup, Oliver Dagenhart. We got a new pitcher, and we'll get you some info on him here in just a moment. As this heat is playing havoc with some of my equipment up here. We got really I don't think there's an air conditioner in the ABL. Ground ball up the middle. Hefner on the run, and easy play there. Boy, got to hurry with Dagenhart running. He runs well, and Luke Hefner makes it look easy. 6-3, and there's one up and one down here in the Chinook fifth inning. 0-0 score, top of 5, and Dagenhart. It's 1-2-3 for the Chinooks here. As stepping in now for Chugiak is Louis Zuleka. First pitch swinging, pop-up center field. Another quick inning for a pitcher tonight. And a lot of these hitters looking early to try to get something going.
Batting number 12, Jordan Jaffe.
And the heat just mess with my computers. I got nothing but black screens now. So we'll continue to broadcast, hopefully not affecting the broadcast at all. First pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Jordan Jaffe, 2 for 2. A nice night for the Chinook first baseman. Single to left his first time. Double to center last time up. The 0-1. Went down and got a pitch. A little bloop into right field. Tough play here. You got to catch on the run, and you do. Nice job there by right fielder Jack Dorn. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mac Zawistowski. New pitcher for the Glacier Pilots. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway home here in Anchorage. Still scoreless. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as Mr. Barktow makes his presence here in the press box. Still scoreless in the 5th inning. Bottom of 5, we're halfway home. And for the Pilots, it's Brendan Shanahan for the second time. Tried to reach his way on board with a drag bunt his first time up. And the first pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Both these pitchers have done a really good job of just throwing a lot of strikes. And these hitters are obliging by being really aggressive. That pitch is in there, and it's 1-1. One pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shanahan, the designated hitter tonight, has played some first base for the Pilots. As Frankie Golko from the full windup. Swing and a miss, strikeouts. So not a lot of those for Frankie yet. But that had a little hair on it. Second strikeout of the night for Golko. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Chase Knight. Base hit to center his first time up. Got thrown out stealing. Did the Pilot third baseman. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Mr. Umpire with a pretty good zone tonight. Keeping this game moving right along. We are just over an hour in, and we're halfway home. And we're playing 9 tonight, so might get home before the sun sets. Good chance of it here in Alaska. Tomorrow, I think, is Solstice Day, so it's not set until, I don't know, 11:30. And local time here, we're 7:01, so I think we're in good shape. The 1-2, just off the plate. RJ thought he had strike 3. He started hopping out of his stance. And it's a 2-2 count on the third baseman, Chase Knight. Strike 3 called. Good breaking ball. Froze Knight. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's 3 punch-outs now for Frankie Golko, the senior from Salem University. What a night he's having. And the Pilot pitchers are kind of throwing pitch for pitch with Frankie tonight. Big left-hander steps in, takes ball 1. This is Jack Dodge, the first baseman. Hit a little ground ball to first base his first time up. Jaffe ranged way off the bag and flipped it over to Frankie for the out. 2-0 now to Jack Dodge. Well, I used to have some trying to cool these computers down as they get overheated. And now they got messed up again, so. Here's the 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, 3-1. And yeah, Dodge was thinking he was going to flip the bat over there for ball 4. Mr. Umpire says, nope, no, that's a strike. 2 outs, nobody aboard. We're still scoreless, bottom of 5. 3-1 pitch, that will miss. And there's your first walk of the night, I think, by either pitcher. Both of them have just been filling up the zone. So a 2-out walk to Dodge. Here's the right fielder, Jack Dorn. Frankie struck out 3. His counterpart, well, the starter, Tyler Stewart, who's now out of the game, he ended up striking out 8 Chinooks in 4 innings of work. Well, you're going to keep the big fella close. He kind of plops down, diving to first base, diving back. Not sure you're going to have to worry too much about him going anywhere. Next pitch, off the plate, 1-0. This is the 8-hitter, Jack Dorn. He flew out to right his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. No runs on 6 hits for the Chinooks. No runs on 2 hits for the Pilots. Bottom of 5. We're still scoreless. And for the second time in this inning, Frankie Golko has fallen behind 2-0. The set, the pitch, and 3-0. Just missed. Okay, well, thanks for the feedback there, Mr. Corbin. My computer's going haywire here. I've had to kind of reset the screens a couple of times, and thankfully the broadcast has not been affected. So Aggies win 6-0. Gig 'em Aggies. On to the championship. See if they can take on the Volunteers. And called a strike, 3-1. Well, congrats to Jim Schlossnagel and the Aggies, as they are rolling in the playoffs, have not lost a game yet. 3-1 the count, the pitch. That's going to miss, ball 4. So back-to-back 2-out walks here after a couple of strikeouts from Frankie Golko. And now it's the 9-hitter, Bo Rico. So for the first time, Frankie in a little bit of a jam here. Until this inning, he'd only allow 1 base runner. It was a base hit to center back in the second inning by Chase Knight. And after striking out Knight, there was 2 outs here in the 5th, nobody aboard. He walked Jack Dodge, and he walked Jack Dorn. Now it's the catcher, Bo Rico, stepping in. And Kyle Peets, the pitching coach, out there to just kind of give Frankie a little bit of a breather. And boy, Kyle's going to be out of town for a wedding next couple of nights, so Tim Cole down there going to have to manage the pitching staff. He and Ted McGovern. Is Kyle going to stand in a wedding? One of his best friends knew he was coming to Alaska. He said, yeah, but you're coming home, right? You're standing in my wedding. So he'll be going back for a couple of nights. First pitch to the 9-hitter. It's off the plate, ball 1. This is Bo Rico. Frankie Golko has the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pop up, should do it. Left field, easy play out there for Laidley, and he'll make the catch. We dropped the ball. Boy, I started to write into my scorebook, and Keaton Laidley at the last moment took his eye off of it, and it popped out of the glove. That's an error, and that's going to be a run. And, boy, that's not good right there. That's a routine play that Keaton Laidley's going to make 99 out of 100 times, but not that time. So an error, and coming home around to score is Dodge, Dorn to third, and as the ball fell to the ground, Rico ended up at second. So you got second and third now, and now you really got an opportunity for the Pilots to take advantage of that miscue. Here's Troy Sanders. First pitch is a strike, it's 0-1. Sanders is 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout, a pop-up to first base. Pop-up, first base side, and Jordan Jaffe calls it, and this time the ball is secured for the final out. P3 if you're scoring at the house. But the miscue in left field leads to the first run of this game. It's now a 1-0 Pilot lead as we head to the 6th inning for the Chinooks. It'll be Jaden Hill, R.J. Rickabaugh, and Cade Smith, 4, 5, and 6. Back in just a minute. Jaden Hill to lead it off, 4, 5, 6 for the Chinooks. They now trail 1-0. Mac Zawistowski back on the mound for the Glacier Pilots. First pitch swinging, that's fair ball, right over the bag. And Hill going to look for 2. Here comes the throw, and he'll beat it there. Hustling double for Jaden Hill to lead off the 6th inning. That ball went right over the third base bag. And Jaden Hill did not hesitate. He just kept going. And a little bit of a Craig Biggio hustling double there for the Chinook center fielder. So after giving up a run in the 5th, Jaden Hill leads off with a double. Here's R.J. Rickabaugh. First pitch to RJ, in there for a strike. One nothing Pilots. We're playing on in the 6th inning. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rickabaugh, ground ball to short, and a called third strike. 0 for 2 tonight. 1-1 pitch. catches the corner, 1-2. Well, I thought we were getting rid of that sun, and it's still coming through, and it's messing with our computer screen. So I think we're still good on the broadcast. We're just struggling to see some of any of the other information we want to see. Fly ball center field. Easy play out there for Stolga. He'll make the grab and not deep enough to allow Jordan Hill to advance. So the F8 will bring up Cade Smith, the designated hitter, for the third time tonight. Base hit to right, strikeout swinging for Cade Smith. And we see Zawistowski for, I think, the third time this year. Big left-hander throws ball 1. Zawistowski, 6'1", 195, a freshman from Chaminade, Mission Viejo, California native. Next pitch is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1, ground ball right back to Zawistowski. He'll throw to first for out number 2, and over to third goes Jaden Hill. So fielder's choice there goes 1-3. Jaden Hill over to third base with 2 outs. David Broughton now for the third time. Base hit to center. Fly ball to center for David. He's 1 for 2. So the Nooks now have the tying run 90 feet away. Big left-hander Mac Zawistowski going to try to keep the 0 on the board for the Pilots. First pitch swing and you pop it up. Easy play in center for Luke Stolga. He'll catch that one, and there's your inning. So that'll go F8 if you're scoring at the house. No runs on 1 hit. You strand a leadoff double there. That hurts a little bit there. We're through 5.5 innings, and the Pilots lead the Chinooks by a score of 1-0. Back in just a minute.
Dugout, BP's going on, and I got Timmy Reynolds, TCU guy and Lucas, Texas guy. Introduce yourself a little bit about your journey in baseball and prior to this summer, and then maybe a little bit about how you ended up being a Chinook.
Yeah, so out of high school, had one offer, went to a junior college in Odessa, Texas, middle of nowhere. That was an experience, got me into college baseball, and all part of God's plan. Ended up at TCU. I was very blessed to be able to go there this past year, and I redshirted, and kind of one night I was going to sleep, and my coach hadn't told me where I was going yet, and I was kind of like, I was on Instagram looking around, and I saw the Chinooks, and I clicked on the website, didn't know it was faith-based, and kind of filled out like a waiver, and I was like, I'll go to bed now.
Right.
And a few days later, Coach Tim's calling my coach, Coach Sarlos, and Coach was like, you gotta go. And Coach said he played in USA Baseball, Cape Cod, and Alaska. He said Alaska was his favorite at all 3. And he's like, it's right up your alley. It's faith-based, outdoors,
Awesome.
Good baseball. So that's kind of how I ended up here.
Well, you've had a couple weeks under your belt. You played some baseball. Obviously, our experience with the Chinooks is quite a bit different than most of the other teams.
Absolutely.
Talk about some of your favorite moments so far in the first 2 weeks.
Favorite moments, I would say just the formation through fellowship so far. I mean, the discipleship every day is just something that, you get to play baseball every day back at school. You get your quiet time back at school, but to be able to be poured into by multiple men of faith that is ultimately meaningless in this world. And so it's a good perspective to have coming up here. And then I'd say some of the coolest things we did, we went past Blacktail Peak the other day.
You were one of those guys.
And so we just went up to Baldy, and we're like, oh, let's go to Baldy.
Let's keep going.
And the peak looked so close, and then 7 hours later, we're up there just, what do we do? But then the view was just,
amazing.
It was undeniably beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Moose's Tooth Pizza has been it's been a treat, especially coming out here to Anchorage.
Yep.
We picked some
Right
up on
around
the
the
way
corner
back,
here.
and so it's pretty good pizza.
Well, I know that God's beauty is everywhere around here. So, any other uniquely Alaska things that you can that has I don't know, that's caught your attention or special?
I mean, I am a fan of the daylight.
Yes.
All day, because you get down to your game, like usually you just go to bed like, no, there's more to do. There's more day to do, and so.
See, Jordan just talked about his like he got night goggles or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of things to go over his eyes.
I have been using a sleeping mask just
Okay.
before, and so it kind of worked out coming here that I still have one, and so I've been able to use that, and that's been nice, trying to get in bed and not wake up right when
Man, it must be nice to be young, because when my head hits the pillow here, I'm done. These are long days.
Right,
So.
they are long.
Anyways, I'm so glad you're on the club. And any shout outs to people back home?
Mama, Dad, Abigail, and Samuel, and then Abigail, your horse, Tequila.
Tim, thanks. It's always nice to have some fellow Texans. I'm from Tyler, so.
Oh yeah, and Alaska is a very much Texas place. I feel like.
I think so. There's
I think
a lot
the
of
people are very Texan-ish. I mean, I don't know if they like being called that, but they're very prideful of their state, and it's a beautiful
It's
state.
true.
It's a beautiful state, and we like our 2A, and so I think they don't have the Alamo, but they got mountains. So.
Well, one of the things my host dad likes to remind me of, he likes to have the state of Texas superimposed over Alaska, and he just kind of laughs at how we think everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But I agree with you. There's a kindred spirit.
It ain't no hill country, though.
No,
country.
exactly.
It ain't no
And
country.
so, anyways, Timmy, thanks for taking time, and I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you.
All right, big shout out to Tim Reynolds. Fly ball right field and easy play out there for Orion Medeiros, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Luke Hefner absolutely smashed a ball into the right field corner for a leadoff double. He's at second base, and Marks flies out to right field for out number 1. So runner at second. See if the Pilots can get their run in. The Chinooks had a leadoff double of their own in the top of the 6th, Jaden Hill, and he got stranded at third base. Hefner's still at second now with 1 out. Here's the center fielder, Luke Stolga. Stolga, ground ball to third and a fly ball to center. He's 0 for 2. Chinooks 7 hits, still haven't scored a run. There goes Hefner on the run and can't catch the ball, so that's going to be a stolen base for Luke Hefner. RJ tried to get the ball out of the glove, and it just fell to the ground. And now the infield will come in trying to keep this at a 1-0 game. Stolga, big holes to hit through. Or if he can lift the ball to the outfield, it's deep enough. The 1-0. He's going to show bunt right back to the mound. You throw to first and get the second out. So Stolga tries to safety squeeze that run across. Try to give the Pilots a 2-0 lead. Couldn't do it. And now it's Brendan Shanahan for the third time. He tried to drag bunt his way aboard. He did the same thing. The ball went right back to Frankie in the second inning. And Shanahan 0 for 2. He struck out swinging to lead off the 5th inning. 2 outs, runner at third. His first pitch swinging flies well out of play to the right side, 0-1. So this is very similar to the Chinooks 6th. And runner a leadoff double. He ends up at third. And hopefully here Frankie can navigate this inning with a 0 and keep this thing right where it's at. 1-0 Pilots. We're in the bottom of inning number 6. The pitch. Outside corner. 0-2. Chinooks no runs on 7 hits, 1 error. The Pilots 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Frankie Golko trying to put another 0 on the board with an 0-2 count and 2 away. The pitch. Boy, went high with the fastball. Just missed for ball 1. Hefner, good runner at third base. Got to be working hard if you're RJ Rickabaugh here. Keep this ball in front of you if you throw it off speed in the dirt. 1-2 pitch fouled off, and we'll do it again. Well, I'm impressed that the TV guy's hanging in there. Usually they come in for an inning or so and get the heck out of here. They got to be on the air. But we play these 6 o'clock games. They got some time. Go on the air at 10, so. 1-2 count, the pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. Nicely done by Frankie Golko as Shanahan strikes out for the second time tonight. Frankie, unofficially, that's 4 punch-outs for him. How many pitches he's got? He started the inning with 58, so probably in the 70s now. Where's he at? 74 pitches for Frankie Golko. What a nice start for him. 1 run on 3 hits. As we go to the 7th, it's 1-0 Pilots. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Chinooks as we play on here in the top of the 7th. It's almost time to stretch it out. Man, oh man, hour and 20 minutes in or so. Keaton Laidley, a couple of strikeouts tonight. See if he can break out of it. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. Left on left matchup, Mac Zawistowski, the freshman from Chaminade in Mission Viejo, California, on the mound. Fouls that one off, 1-2. Came on in the 6th inning, gave up a leadoff double to Jaden Hill, but then got 3 outs and got out of the trouble. 1-0 Pilots as we play on here, top of 7. We'll be back down here tomorrow night against the Bucks. Now tomorrow we might be able to bring a score bug in. I think the Bucks have a live statter. There's strike 3, and that's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the night for Keaton Laidley. And for Zawistowski, that's his first punch out. 9 strikeouts for Pilot pitching tonight. Now it's the 9-hitter, Orion Medeiros. Infield single and a strikeout swinging for Medeiros tonight. Zawistowski likes to go from the stretch. First pitch just off the plate, ball 1. Mac Zawistowski, 6'1", 195 freshman from Mission Viejo, California. Well, we've got some former Chinooks in the house tonight. Troy Hervey and Zach Sundine. Troy Hervey, a former coach. Zach Sundine, a former multi-year Chinook. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Boy, again, this is another kind of a pitching-dominated game between these two clubs. We went 0-0 the other night. And we're not far from that right now. Fouled straight back. Look out, boy, right at the cameraman. And that'll chase you back to the station. We got a little crow's nest right to our right here. And this cameraman is taking some video of the game, and that ball went right at him. Hit his tripod. Check swing. They're going to check it at first. He says no go. Counts even, 2-2. 1 out, nobody aboard. We're at the top of the 7th. Nooks need some base runners here. Both pitchers have done a good job. All 3 pitchers have done a nice job of limiting traffic. That's well off the plate. 2-2. Chinooks have left 7 on, 5 in scoring position, so they've had some opportunities more early in the game, have not been able to capitalize. The 3-2, just off the end of the bat, and we'll do it again. We're at the 9 spot in the Nook lineup. Orion Medeiros does have a hit tonight. Infield single in the 6th hole back in the 2nd inning. And he takes the 1-out walk here. Haven't had a lot of those from either side. First walk issued by Mac Zawistowski, and that'll be the first walk unofficially by Pilot pitching tonight. So Medeiros at first base represents the tying run. Now you go to the top in Oliver Dagenhart. 0 for 3, couple of ground balls and a strikeout. So let's see if Coach Cole decides to maybe turn Orion loose here. Got the left-hander on the mound, so if you're going to try to steal, it's first move all the way. Got a pretty healthy lead. First pitch in there for a strike, going 1. Another healthy lead there by Orion. Not going. Old tapper foul and then quickly 0-2. Well, now, I don't know. I never liked running necessarily 0-2 in this situation because you're kind of set up for a pitch out if they decide to go ahead and do that. Not going. And there's a ball in the dirt, and boy, nice read there. That's going to be a wild pitch. He was not going, I don't think, was he? So it'll be a wild pitch. Medeiros, boy, that's a great read at first. He's in scoring position now as the tying run with only 1 out. With the lefty on the mound, now here's a situation where with that left-hander, they tend to lose the runner with the back of their head. You might think about stealing here. And again, fisted and grounded to third base side, out of play. Count remains 1-2. So Medeiros now, see, they're trying to hold the runner with Troy Sanders at second base. But Medeiros, you get a nice jump here. Not getting too big of a lead right now. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate, 2-2. Well, Sanders appears to be committed to holding the runner. Now he's backing off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Medeiros maybe a little bit more of a lead. Boy, that ball's hammered. Left field, if it stays fair, it's trouble. That ball is out of here. Carried right over the fence. Oliver Dagenhart, there's where that wind kicked in. Off the bat, it looked like it might be off the wall. And that ball carried out of the ballpark. Right down the line, Oliver Dagenhart with a 2-run home run gives the Chinooks the lead here in the 7th. And, boy, what a shot in the arm that is. He got under it, it got up in a hurry, and it just kept going. I did not think that was going to get out of here. And that wind is blowing right toward the foul pole from the right field foul pole. And that's the ball that will get some help. And it probably cleared by a couple of feet. 2-1 Chinooks. Still only 1 out. Now it's Louis Zuleika. There's a chopper that's foul off the leg of Zuleika for strike 1. And just like that, the Nooks, a walk and a 2-run home run. The 3rd homer of the summer. Now, officially in ABL play, that's our first home run. We had 2 in the showcase that will not be in the stat sheet. But that's the first official ABL homer for Chinook this summer, and it comes at a key time in this ballgame. Top of 7, 2-1 Chinooks. The 0-1. Ground ball. That's a tough play. Backhanded. Long throw, and off the bag. I think he got him. Boy, Chase Knight really good play at third. He had a long throw over to Jake Dodge. Dodge caught the ball. I'm not sure I've ever seen this before. He caught it, and he dove to first with his glove. So in the book, it'll be a 5-3, kind of routine looking, but that was anything but routine. Nice play by Dodge at first to get the second out of the inning. Now it's Jordan Jaffe. Jaffe on the night, 2 for 3. And that's foul down the right field line, out of play. No balls and a strike. So Mac Zawistowski, working for the Glacier Pilots here in the 7th, is giving up a couple of runs in the lead. Fly ball center field. Stolga going back toward the warning track, and plenty of room out there to make the catch. And there's your final inning. F8 if you're scoring at the house. But the Nooks, 2 runs on a 2-run home run off the bat of leadoff hitter Oliver Dagenhart. And they now lead it by a score of 2-1. It's time to stretch it out here in Anchorage. Boy, if you're at the house, in the easy chair, or even in bed, boy, it's time to get up and stretch it out. 2-1 Nooks. Back in just a minute.
Pitching for the Chinooks, Gavin Alvetti.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Nooks now lead it 2-1. And you got a new pitcher on the mound for the Nooks. And, boy, who is that? Yeah, I'll have to pull up the roster here. I've got to see the number. Is it 31? Gavin Alvetti. 6 foot 180. A sophomore out of the University of Central Arkansas, Searcy, Arkansas native. So Alvetti will take over for Frankie Gulko. What a great outing for Frankie. As Frankie right now will be the pitcher of record. But now, taking over for Gulko is Gavin Alvetti. And we're in the bottom of the 7th. Chase Knight will lead it off. 1 for 2 for Knight. Base hit to center to go with a strikeout looking. First pitch, a little tapper. Tough play here. Louie's got to hurry. Can't get it out of his glove. That'll be an infield single. As, boy, right back come the Pilots. 1 pitch and a base runner at first. That's Chase Knight's second hit of the night.
Number 26, Jake Dodge.
Here's Jake Dodge for the 3rd time. Ground ball to first and a walk. Dodge scored the only Pilot run in the 5th inning. And it was a 2-out fly ball to left field that created that run on a routine pop-up that just popped out of the glove of Keaton Laidley. Just took his eye off it at the last minute. 2-8-1 for the Nooks, 1-4-0 for the Pilots. And I'm going to pull out my Walmart specials here. I think we've got a new left fielder. And if if I'm correct, it's Brady Groves out there now. We've made a change in left field. 2 balls, no strikes. Alvetti, the set, and the pitch. In there for a strike. No, maybe not. 2-1. Alvetti likes to drop that arm slot down a little bit, about 3/4 delivery, as he works out of the stretch here with a runner at first, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, and boy, Louis caught it, and he couldn't get it out of the glove. Another infield single for the Pilots. Well, you thought you had a chance to get a web gem there. Louis dove, got the ball in his glove, could not get it over to Dagenhart at short, who had run over and covered the bag. So you got first and second, no one out, and here's a bunt situation for Jack Dorn. Fly ball to right and a walk for Dorn, and here comes Kyle Peets, the pitching coach. Going to walk through the bunt coverages here, make sure that all the infielders know what's going to happen. Probably going to see a bunt. You know, it's interesting. They've already seen 2 bunts tonight, and as interesting as it was, at the end of batting practice today, Tim, the Pilots were practicing bunts for about 15 minutes. They had cones set up, and this coach was going through, had the machine out there. He was barking at them like a drill sergeant and just working on the short game. So it's no surprise tonight that we have seen the Pilots lay down 2 bunts. This is probably the most obvious bunt situation of the night. First and second, no one out in a 1-run game, bottom of 7. So we'll see what Jack Dorn, the right fielder, does here. But I'm going to be surprised if Coach Rich Price does not play the small ball game right here, put 2 guys in scoring position with 1 out. And Bo Rico would be scheduled to hit next, the 9-hitter. First pitch from Alvetti, and he's not squaring, and it's a ball. So he might be letting him swing away here. We'll see. You got Jaffe kind of creeping in front of the runner at first base. Broughton is even with the bag at third. The middle infielder's playing for 2. Next pitch, fly ball, shallow center. This is a tough play, and it's going to fall in. And Jaden Hill came in and threw it. Oh, my goodness, that was close. I'd like to see the replay on that. That was a bang play. As you thought it might be caught, Jaden Hill came in and made a throw on the run like he was a third baseman. And, boy, you've had some seeing eye singles here this inning if you're a Pilot fan. Bases full of Glacier Pilots. Nobody out. Here's Bo Rico. And Tim Cole is out there to question the call. There's nothing to be done. No replay here. And he's just letting that guy know. I thought he was out, and I did too. If you're watching at home, you can scrub that YouTube back and see if you can give us your opinion on it. But I thought that ball, the runner at second was Chase Knight. He had to stay close to the bag because it looked like Jaden Hill was going to catch the ball. It fell in front of him, and Hill, like a third baseman on a slow roller, caught that ball and on the run made the one-hop throw to Broughton, and it sure looked like the ball just beat the runner. But now you got to bring your infield in for the 9-hitter Bo Rico. And first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. And this is not Rico. This is a pinch hitter. And the hitter is not, well, it is Rico. Got the wrong number here. So Rico, 19 for the night. Ground ball to the pitcher, reached on an error to left field. And fouls that one off quickly, 0-2. So it is Bo Rico, the 9-hitter. And he hit a little tapper back to the mound, and he's the one that hit the pop-up that we dropped in left field to allow that first run to score. You got nobody out, bases full of Pilots. Big spot in this game. 2-1 Chinooks, bottom of the 7th. Gavin Alvetti on the mound for the Fish. He's got the sign. He comes set. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him, boy. Huge strikeout right there for Alvetti. His first of the night. Unofficially 5 now for Chinook pitching. back to the top you go. Now you got to navigate the top of this Pilot lineup. Troy Sanders, 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, couple of pop-ups to first base. He's 0 for 3. And you got the right-on-right matchup with the Pilot's second baseman, Troy Sanders. Ball sails outside, ball one. You got nowhere to put Sanders here. You've got to come in. Try to put him in play. Now the middle infielders will play back for a double play. Corners will stay up. Try to cut the run down at the plate. Chinooks lead at 2-1. The 1-0 off the plate, and you fall behind 2-0. You got to come in there. You can't be too fine here. Let your defense work. As Gavin Alvetti on the mound for the Chinooks. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. The pitch. In there for a strike. It's 2-1. We've heard from Miss Lopez. We've heard from Dory Dagenhart. Excited about that home run by Oliver. And again, Mr. Golko checking in. Thanks for those live chats. There's a tapper. Tough play here. You got to go to nobody at first. And you missed him. There's a second run coming to the plate. He's going to be out. So 1 run comes in. We're tied at 2. And, boy, it was just one of those awkward the Pilots have gotten 4 awkward at-bats this inning. And that'll be a fielder's choice. 1-U. To first base goes Sanders. He'll get an RBI out of the deal. Coming home to score was Knight, but coming around to get thrown out at home plate was Dodge. That'll go 1-2. As Alvetti tried to dive and tag the base runner, Troy Sanders, who was the hitter. And now it's the shortstop, Luke Hefner. First and second, 2 outs. Well, you had an opportunity there. Well, you did prevent the second run from scoring. I'm not sure you had any. Alvetti thought about throwing home, and he might have been best served to do that. To just reset his feet, come to the plate. Line drive is short, and that'll do it. Boy, nicely done there as Dagenhart flags that one out of the air. That was a bullet off the bat of Luke Hefner. L6 if you're scoring at the house. But the Pilots, with 1, 2, 3 hits in the inning, end up getting another run. We're tied at 2 as we head to the 8th inning. Back in just a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 50-50.
Top of the 8th inning for the Chinooks. We'll play that interview with R.J. Rickabaugh after this half inning. Didn't want to miss out on that one. First pitch swinging, Jaden Hill from the right side. Fly ball, and who's going to call it? They missed it. Miscommunication. It falls to the ground. Here's the throw to second. Not in time. Well, you got to score that an error. And I'm going to give it to the center fielder. We'll see how the scoreboard does it, but that's got to, yeah, they're going to give him an error. So, boy, right back come the Nooks, E8. And, boy, good hustle by Jaden Hill. He finds his way to second. Nobody out. Now it is R.J. Rickabaugh. 0 for 3 tonight. Ground ball to short. Strikeout swinging. Fly ball to center. You need a productive at-bat here from R.J. First pitch, going to miss low. Ball 1. Pull it on the ground. Fly ball deep enough to get Jaden over to third. There's a couple things you just need to have happen here to try to get Jaden Hill to third with 1 out. 1-0 pitch. Pop up left field. This is trouble in the, just foul by about a foot. And last inning, Tim, we had 3 of those balls that they found fair territory. The Pilots had 2 or 3 seeing eye hits to get that run. 3 of them, in that even the fielder's choice was a very awkward play. That one, the Chinooks needed that to find the foul line, and it just missed the foul line by about a foot. So it's a 1-1 count on R.J. Rickabaugh. Tied at 2, top of 8. Chinooks with a runner at second, no one out. The pitch. Missed inside, 2-1. Well, ideally you'd like to have a base hit or better from R.J., but quality at bat might include a grounder to the right side, a fly ball deep enough to move the runner. Just need to really get the job done here. It's a game situation for R.J. Swing and a miss, got under his hands. He's kind of frustrated at himself as he steps out of the box. 2-2 count now. Left on left matchup. Mac Viejo, California, a freshman, working for the Pilots. The 2-2. There it is. Base hit to right. That'll work. You're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw. It will not be in time. The Nooks retake the lead 3-2. Really nice job of manufacturing a run and a clutch hit there off the bat of R.J. Rickabaugh. And the Chinook faithful, who are large in number tonight. We've got a nice little crowd down there. Can hear them cheering on the Nooks. RBI single for Rickabaugh, and it's 3-2 Chinooks. Still no one out. Here comes Cade Smith for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. Base hit to right to go with a strikeout and a grounder to the pitcher. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Well, in the 8th inning, you might think about moving him over with a bunt here, but did not show bunt there. And the 0-1. Grounder right side. That'll move the runner. That'll work like a bunt. And that'll work. That's a productive out for the Chinook offense. It'll go 4-3. And Rickabaugh to second with 1 out. Here's David Broughton. Got 2 shots to get a runner in from second. You got 1 out, and you got your second. And he'll face the freshman left-hander, Mac Zawistowski. First pitch, off the plate, ball 1. Well, now it looks like we got some, I don't know if it's softballers or some soccer players out in that field and beyond the right field fence. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out here. Top of the 8th. The Nooks have retaken the lead 3-2. Boy, he got fisted and in front of the second baseman. Nice sliding catch by Sanders for out number 2. So that'll go P4. Looping liner, a little pop-up off the bat of Broughton. 2 outs. Here's Keaton Laidley. And actually it's not. It's going to be Brady Groves. So Groves, we noticed, took over and left. Now he'll get his first plate appearance. Spin and you throw to second, not in time, as RJ slides head first. So you got Brady Groves, who came on defensively last inning when the Nooks took the 2-1 lead. Groves went to left. Now he's at the plate for the first time. You'd love to get a 2-out knock here to try to give you some insurance. The pitch. No, it's not off the plate. Mr. Umpire gave him the call. 0-1. Might be as far outside as we've seen tonight. Oh, they're saying he swung at it? Kind of pointed toward Brady there. Now, either way, it's a 0-1 count. Here's the kick. the pitch, and well, you foul it right by Colonel Ted down there at first base, coaching for the Nooks. And it's 0-2. Outfield playing really shallow on Brady Groves. If he catches one here, he's got a chance to get extra bases. He's got good speed, so when you hit one over that center fielder's head, you run forever. All three of them are playing pretty shallow. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's the pick, and you're going to try to wear out R.J. Rickabaugh just to keep him close with 2 outs. You don't want to get him with a running start if you're a Pilot fan. As the Nooks 3 and the Pilots 2 as we play in the top of the 8th inning. Next pitch, grounder right back to Zawistowski. He'll underhand it to first, and there's your inning. So that'll go 1-3 if you're scoring at the house. But the Chinooks, they strike right back here in the top of the 8th. 1 run on 1 hit. You leave 1 guy on. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Nooks retake the lead. It's 3-2.
All right, we're outside the Chinook dugout. Batting practice still going on. R.J. Rickabaugh, and Pennsylvania native. Talk about your experiences, I guess, in baseball a little bit, and at school, what position you play, a little bit about yourself, and then maybe a little bit of how you became a Chinook.
Okay, so yeah, my whole life I've been playing baseball and football, the 2 big passions of mine.
Nice.
My first year of college, I was at Notre Dame, redshirted there, and then I made my transition to University of Richmond, and I have absolutely loved it there.
Okay.
Great experience there, great friends, and great coaches. So I'm truly blessed to be there now. But how I got to be a Chinook is actually quite interesting. Me and Jaffe were both in a Bible study with our hitting coach, Coach Raddick.
Colin, yeah.
Yep. And man, he mentioned it to me one day, and I thought over it, and I talked to my parents, and I was like, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. I might as well take it. So yeah, no, that's pretty much how.
Colin Raddick might be our best recruiter.
Colin's amazing.
You know, I love coaching him. He was an outfielder, I was an outfielder, and I was head coach at the time. And so one of my favorite Chinooks, and I just said that to Jordan as well. But talk about, I guess, any unique experiences to your first 2 weeks here. What has jumped out at you most about just being here, being in Alaska, being on this team?
Well, one, my faith. My faith has grown so much.
Good.
I'm so excited that I was able to come out here, and this was part of God's plan, and I'm truly growing as a man through Christ. That's one thing that I'm really happy about. And then 2, man, all the adventures we've had. I mean, after games at 10 o'clock at night, we're going down to the nature center.
Sun's still out?
Sun's still out. We're going out there.
You've seen bear?
We have not seen a bear yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we that's on our bucket list. Me and Frankie actually.
If you go out that way, over the years, a lot of Chinooks have seen bear out by the nature center.
Yeah.
So probably see one soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Moose?
Yeah, we went to the nature center last night, me and Frank, and we didn't find any bear and any moose. And then as we're driving back into our neighborhood, there's a mama moose and a baby moose,
Right.
literally in the middle of the street, of the neighborhood.
You know, obviously you've heard this, but don't get between mama and her calves. They're very aggressive. So glad you got to see it from the van. Anyways, any other thoughts about your experiences so far? What about the baseball? Talk about the differences between being at Richmond and the college schedule, and now. You know, we're getting after it a little bit here. We're going to have a lot of games coming up. We've got some off days this week, but this is kind of like a pro schedule. How's that sat with you?
Man, the schedule at D1 and the constant busyness is very similar to this. Okay. So it's a good because it's a routine day in and day out. And I love the aspect of how we can just have baseball, discipleship, and no classes. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I really enjoy the hustle and bustle about it all. So.
Well, you know, I'm glad you're on this team. It's kind of nice to have 3 guys behind there, so you guys get some days off once in a while. Don't have to grind it out every day in the bullpen or every day. There's probably a little bit of relief on your body that way, right? So, any shout-outs to anyone back home?
Yes, my mom, my dad, my little brother Connor, and my loving girlfriend Sarah.
Okay, well, RJ, thanks for taking time to talk to me. And like the others, I hope this summer is awesome for you.
I appreciate it.
All right, big shout out to RJ Rickaball for his pregame comments. We'll continue to try to work through that roster for you the rest of our time here. Kitty and I, my wife, are scheduled to leave Alaska to head to the other Athletes in Action team on July 1. So looks like Tim Bartow might be doing some of the play-by-play after I leave. But anyways, we'll miss being in the saddle here for these Chinook ball games. But we'll try to continue to work through as many of these players as we can. Try to get 3 a night on the broadcast. So first batter of the inning was a strikeout, Dylan Marks. And now it's a 2-2 count on Luke Stolga. Marks now 0 for 4 tonight, 3 fly balls, and then that strikeout from Gavin Alvetti back on the mound for the Nooks. The 2-2. That's going to miss low, 3-2. Luke Stolga, ground ball to third, fly ball to center. He tried to bunt his way aboard last time and bunted it right back to the pitcher, so he's 0 for 3. 3-2 Chinooks, bottom of 8. Strike 3 called. Got him looking, and there's 2 away. Boy, what a nice ball game tonight by both pitching staffs. And right now the Nooks with a 1-run advantage. And stepping in is Brendan Shanahan, the DH. Tried to drag bunt aboard in the second inning, was thrown out. A couple of strikeouts after that. He's 0 for 3. First pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Right-handed sophomore from the University of Central Arkansas, Gavin Alvetti, came on in the 7th inning. This is his 2nd inning of work. You do have, looks like maybe Aiden Collins down there getting loose in the bullpen. Swing and a miss, 1-1. So we'll have to see if Coach Kyle Peets wants to go to his bullpen for the 9th. But Alvetti has done a nice job for the Chinooks here in relief. Swing and a miss. Took something off the breaking ball. It's 1-2. 1 pitch away from getting in the dugout and going to the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. The Chinooks 3 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. The Pilots 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Alvetti, the sign, the set, and the pitch. Strike 3 called. Punched out the side here in inning number 8. 7 strikeouts for Chinook pitching. 3 strikeouts in a row for relief pitcher Galvin Alvetti. And a 0 on the board. We're going to the 9th. The Nooks lead it 3-2.
This is Pastor Brad Rood from the Crossing Church in Chugiak Eagle River. As I hike in the wilderness, I continuously look for landmarks. I even turn around to face the other direction so that I'll recognize the view on my return. I've often said it's impossible to get lost in the mountains. And then one day, hunting with my young son, fog set in so thick I couldn't see any of my landmarks. We set out, we walked a mile, and if anything, my confusion grew. We couldn't see 50 feet in front of us. Spiritually, we also have landmarks. But the good things that this life has to offer can blind us. They can consume our vision like a blanket of fog so that we no longer even see our spiritual markers. You know, suddenly making money, having fun, or paying bills is all we can see. We stray from God's perfect path, and from His perspective, we're wandering aimlessly. We don't grow closer to Him, and we end up farther away from the peace and the joy that He has for us. Proverbs says, "A man of understanding keeps to a straight course." Are you following your spiritual markers? I hope so. Be blessed.
All right, we've had a couple folks check in. Thanks, Pastor Brad, for that encouraging word. As we'll continue to talk and share some of the things, spiritual markers from Proverbs. Some powerful words there from Pastor Brad Rood from The Crossing. That's our host church, and our pastor recorded some of those in-between inning devotions for us last year, so thank you for that. Ms. Solway has checked in from Sun Lakes, Arizona. All right, thanks for doing that. And if you haven't checked in, you don't have much time left. We're in the 9th inning, and the Pilots have gone to their bullpen for the second time. New pitchers, Peyton Allen, 5'11", 185, a right-hand junior from the University of Houston. He's from Prosper, Texas, and he spent this last year at Tyler Junior College. It's where I broadcast both Tyler Junior College Apaches and UT Tyler Patriots. So I saw Peyton all spring. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. Stepping in for the Chinooks, right fielder Orion Medeiros. 1 for 2 tonight for Orion. Infield single, a strikeout and a walk. Just missed 2-0. 3-9-1 for the Chinooks, 2-7-1 for the Pilots. Little tapper foul, and they're going to say it went off Medeiros' foot, and it's a 2-1 count on the Chinook right fielder. First time this summer Orion has started in right field. Allen the set, the 2-1, and he hit him right off the leg, and so Medeiros will go down to first base after the hit by pitch. Top of the lineup, and the hero of the night for the Nooks, a 2-run home run his last time up, Oliver Degenhardt. All right, Mr. Degenhardt has checked in as well from St. Louis. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Thanks for checking in, Larry. Didn't catch that earlier, I don't think. 1 ball, no strikes to the Chinook shortstop. You're going to show bunt, and you're going to pull it back, but it's called a strike. It's 1-1. Well, I mean, you got some options here. Orion can run a little bit. See if you turn him loose. You showed bunt there. You might bunt him over. The 0-2, not with 2 strikes. So that ball's hammered to left, and that's down. And it gets by the left fielder. This is trouble. You got speed on the bases. Orion's going to score easily, and Degenhardt will stay at second base. 4-2 Nooks. Left fielder Dylan Marks came in and tried to stop the ball from getting by him. That's going to be a single, and I think an error. I'm going to give it a 1B7, and then an E7 is going to allow Degenhardt to get to second base, and it'll allow Medeiros to come all the way around to score. And boy, what a big run that is. 4-2 now, Chinooks. Still no one out. And here's the 2-hitter, Louis Zuleika. Boy, you need to get him over now with nobody out. Line drive into the gap. That's going to score another run. 5-2 Nooks. Louis Zuleika hits the first pitch into left field, and it's back-to-back hits for the Chinooks. And more importantly, it's a 5-2 lead. Hit batter, single, and an error by Dylan Marks. He came in. The ball was easily in front of him on the ball that was hit by leadoff hitter Degenhardt, but it got by him. It hopped over his glove. The error was scored there, so it was a single and an error. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Jordan Jaffe. Next pitch. That ball's hammered. High, deep left field. This has got a chance and actually caught on the warning track. Boy, I thought that ball had a chance. Jaffe hit it to the warning track in left center. Long fly ball out for Jordan Jaffe. He's 2 for 5 now. I thought that might get up. And here's the strange thing. As I look at the flags, and you can barely see them in your picture, the wind is shifted. It's now blowing in from left. So earlier in the night, that ball might have left the yard, but not anymore. That wind is blowing straight in from left field. So we've had a change of the wind here tonight during this ball game. First pitch is swung on and missed. This is Jaden Hill. And that's a strike, and it's 0-2. Jaden Hill on the night is 1 for 4. He doubled in the 6th. Reached on an error his last time. There's a chopper to short. You flip it to second for 1 and over to first, not in time. So that'll go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Zuleika is out at second, and good hustle by Jaden Hill to avoid the double play. So he's at first with 2 outs. R.J. Rickaball. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Nooks. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Glacier Pilots. And R.J., an RBI single his last time up. It's 1 for 4. Off the plate, ball 1. Peyton Allen, the junior, headed to the University of Houston from Prosper, Texas. And he's given up a couple runs here in the 9th. The 1-0. That's a liner, and boy, it's knocked down at first. You got to hurry, and gets to his feet. Nice job there of staying with it by Jack Dodge for the final out. That'll go 3-U if you're scoring at the house. But the Chinooks, 2 runs on 2 hits. You leave a guy on, and they get some really important insurance here in the 9th inning. You go to the bottom of the 9th. Chinooks 5, Pilots 2. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. We got some former Chinooks in the press box. Troy Harvey, Zach Sundine. A lot of Chinook experience standing behind me. Going to take in a few at-bats here in the 9th inning. For the Pilots, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. This is Chase Knight for the 4th time. 2 for 3 tonight for Chase Knight. You got a new pitcher on the mound. Boy, and you got 2 lefties behind me here. Aiden Collins is going to come in and try to close it off. Next pitch is going to miss. 2 balls, no strikes. Aiden Collins, 5'9", 210, a left-handed freshman from Quincy University, Evansville, Indiana native. And he'll face 6, 7, 8 for the Pilots. 5-2 Chinooks. And that's going to miss. 3-0. Boy, you need to force the issue here. As the only thing that's going to help the Pilots here, short of a rally, is going to be some free passes. Full windup for Collins, the 3-0 in there for a strike. 3-1. Well-pitched game by both sides. And the Chinooks able to rally late here. 5 runs in the last 3 innings. 3-1 pitch fouled off. And, boy, you work your way back into a full count. Chinooks trying to get win number 5 of the summer. This would even them up at 4-4 in ABL play. Here's the payoff from Aiden Collins, and he lost them. Went with the breaking ball. It stayed high. A leadoff walk to Chase Knight. First walk of the night for Aiden Collins. And, boy, that's the one thing. Both these staffs have done a really nice job. That's just 3 walks on the night for Chinook pitching. Here's Jack Dodge, left-on-left matchup here with the first baseman. Dodge is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The pitch. In there for a strike. That's what you got to do right there. Work ahead, right? Best pitch in baseball, strike one. Boy, I feel a little intimidated here. I got two lefties standing behind me. Aiden Collins, it's appropriate that the Chinooks got a lefty to try to close this off there. R.J. Rickaball blocked it. Boy, he threw it halfway to the ocean there. Over second base. That'll be a wild pitch. And down to second goes Chase Knight. So really, this is so important why that those 2 runs in the ninth really give you a little breathing room. You really don't need to worry about that guy at second. You need outs here. You're looking for 3 outs for a Chinook win. So you focus in on the hitter with a 1-1 count. Jack Dodge, 1 for 2 tonight. Collins getting the signs. Here's the pitch. Boy, that was almost a balk, and it was a balk. I thought he balked. He did not stop. He kind of rocked, and boy, as soon as that foot hit, he came straight up, and sure enough, they called a balk. So, again, that runner doesn't mean a lot at this point, as you just need to focus on the hitter. You're in the bottom part of this Pilot lineup, and, boy, you don't want to get back. I tell you right now, the guy I don't want to see again tonight is Luke Hefner, that 2-hitter. He has hit the ball hard against the Chinooks since he showed up here a couple of nights ago. And he's in their 2 spot, so if you can avoid getting to him, you got a chance. That's a fastball that misses way away, and RJ does nice to keep the run from scoring. It's 2-1. Five runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Nooks. 2-7-2 for the Pilots. Bottom of the ninth, off the plate. And Aiden having a little bit of trouble getting comfortable out there. It's 3-1. He's falling behind these hitters. And again, the free pass is your worst enemy here as you try to close this thing off. Has the sign, the 3-1. And that ball gets away. And it's 2 walks. So now you got the tying run coming to the plate. And the question you got to ask if you're Kyle Peets here and Tim Cole, there goes Kyle, is are you going to stay with Aiden here and try to let him finish this thing? And I would think he would. But we'll see. 2 runners on. And Jack Dorn, the right fielder, is going to, he's scheduled to hit. And he is going to hit. And Rich Price is going to have a chat with Dorn over there. And, you know, if you're hitting right now and you're a Pilot, you almost got to take a strike here. As wild as Aiden Collins has been here in the early going, they might hit for him. Is he going back to the bench? I don't think so. Yeah, they're going to stay with Jack Dorn here. Fly ball to right, a walk, and a single to center for Dorn. So he's 1 for 2 tonight. And Mr. Umpire being extremely patient out there, letting him have the prayer meeting for a while. And here we go back at baseball. 5-2 Chinooks, runners on the corners, nobody out. So would have been too easy to get the first 3 batters and just go home. And you guys know about Teresa's dinner. It's waiting, man. you got to join in tonight. First pitch off the plate. Everything's been yanked now for Collins. He's struggling at that fastball, and everything's going outside. RJ doing a good job of keeping that ball at home plate, but could have had a couple of wild pitches and it might have been a run. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Breaking ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. You'll take a double play here to give up a run. And that would be the ticket for the Chinooks. Collins the set and the 1-1. And, boy, just can't quite command. Everything's a little bit outside here. And it's 2-1. Jack Dorn, the right fielder. Got a single to center his last time up. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him. Yep, if he catches one here. The wind shifted about 2 innings ago, and it's not blowing in from left. It was blowing out to left earlier. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, you'd love a punch out right here. Swing and a miss. Got him. Nicely done for the first out of the inning, and that is big. Now a double play ends the ball game. First strikeout for relief pitcher Aiden Collins. That's 8 punch-outs for Chinook pitchers. And it looks like he got a pinch hitter stepping in, 24. And let's see who that's going to be. And it's one of the Sanders brothers. Logan Sanders is going to be the pinch hitter, 6'1", 185, a junior from Southern University, a Tucson, Arizona native. First pitch in there for a strike. Logan's starting to find a comfort level on that mound. He works ahead of Sanders, and it's 0-1. Sanders has started both games prior to tonight against the Chinooks. Here's the 1-0. Boy, now he's starting to feel it. 0-2. Well, you got to work hard here if you're R.J. Rickabaugh. You want to go to that off speed, got to be a wall back there. 0-2, 1 out, the pitch. Just a bit low, not by much. And Sanders gets the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, you want to keep the hitter off second, right? Whatever happens on this play. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3 called. He froze him with a fastball. Back-to-back punch-outs for Aiden Collins. And there's 2 outs here in the 9th. 9 strikeouts for Chinook pitchers tonight. Top of the lineup, Troy Sanders. And I tell you what, keep Luke Hefner in the on-deck circle. I do not want to see that guy come up with the bases loaded or in a situation where he could tie or win the game. Here is the leadoff hitter, Troy Sanders, the brother of Logan, who just batted. Strike 1. And, boy, it's nice to see now as Aiden Collins is working ahead of these hitters. Troy Sanders on the night, 0 for 4. Strikeout and 3 ground balls. Breaking pitch, catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. You're 1 strike away from a Nook win. Collins is working lightning fast here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The kick, the pitch. Oh, just a bit high and away. As Troy Sanders, the second baseman, a strikeout swinging, a pop-up to, actually 2 pop-ups to first base, and a fielder's choice his last time up to the pitcher. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. There's your ball game. What a nice job by Aiden Collins. Took him a while to get settled in, but after he did, he struck out the side. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pilots. A win for the Chinooks. It's 5-2 final, a 0 in the bottom of the 9th. So really nice job there for the freshman from Quincy University, Aiden Collins. And the Chinooks get win number 5 of the summer, and they are now an even 4-4 in ABL play. That strikeout will be 3rd strikeout of the inning, and the Chinook pitchers end up with 10 strikeouts tonight. And, oh, they took it off the board. Good gracious. I have to count up my hits. 2, I know they had 2 errors. Let's see here. How many hits did the Pilots have? It was a 7? All right. Final line score unofficially here. Chinooks 5 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. The Pilots 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Boy, going back through a quick wrap-up for you, there was no score in this game until the bottom of inning number 5. The Pilots would actually strike first, and they would score. Bases loaded, routine pop-up to left, and unfortunately Keaton Laidley just took his eye off the ball last minute, popped out of the glove. It was 1-0 Pilots. It would stay 1-0, but the Chinooks in the 7th inning got an unlikely home run off of the bat of leadoff hitter Oliver Dagenhart, and it was 2-1 Chinooks. But the Pilots would come right back in the bottom of inning number 7, and they would score a single run on a fielder's choice off the bat of the young man that just struck out there. Troy Sanders hit a kind of a squibber to first base, and there was no, or actually the pitcher, and there was no play made. Everyone was safe, and we were tied at 2. But the Chinooks would come back in their half of the 9th inning. RBI single by Zuleika. And how else did they score their run? They scored 2 in that last inning. And so it was a leadoff hit batter by Medeiros and a single by Dagenhart. And, okay, there was an error in left field. That scored the first run of the inning. Orion Medeiros came all the way around to score when the left fielder, Dylan Marks, tried to make a play, and it bounced over him. So it was a single with a couple of base error there. And that gave the Chinooks 1 run, and then the second run was scored by Luis Zuleika, who knocked one into left field. And, boy, they needed those runs as Aiden Collins had a little bit of shaky start to the 9th, but, man, settled in nicely and struck out Dorn and pinch hitter Logan Sanders, and then Troy Sanders to end the ball game. So that'll wrap things up for a Wednesday night. A win for the Chinooks. What's next? Well, we'll be right back down here and playing the Bucks. 6 o'clock start tomorrow. We'll try to be on the air about 5:45. The Nooks are meeting over at the third base area and celebrating their victory. A big shout out to all of you who chimed in on the live chat. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. This is Dr. John Gross signing off from Anchorage, Alaska. The Chinooks get the victory tonight by a score of 5-2. Until tomorrow night, so long, everybody.